Hey everyone, today I'm going to be doing a deep dive into how much money I spent on food for the month of August and September. Unlike all the other fixed bills in your life that come out through direct debit, food is sort of like the one big area that we spend a lot of money on that we can kind of control. If you've had a really crazy month the month before, you can curb back your groceries, and that's a great way to sort of like stay within the limits. I realize it's October and I'm a bit behind in filming this, but I wanted to do this analysis anyway, and I always think it's worthwhile doing it on camera for you guys in case you want to do the same thing with your finances. I also want to share how I analyze the data using Google Sheets. Google Sheets is a free online tool. You just need to have a Gmail account, and most people do, and if you don't, it's really easy to get one. When I'm really trying to be stringent and really trying to save money, I aim to spend £100 a week for the two of us. That's 430 pounds a month because there's 4.3 weeks in a month. Most guidelines suggest you should spend anywhere from 9 to like 12% of your take-home pay on groceries. I love Dave Ramsey. I've talked about Dave Ramsey before in these money style videos in regards to food. I heard him on a podcast last week talk to someone about spending $700 a month on food as a reasonable amount to spend. If you convert that to British pounds, which is the currency that I operate in day to day, that's roughly 536 British pounds per month. That works out to 125 pounds a week or 18 pounds a day for two people. All right, so let's get into the method. Right, to get started, what you need to have is access to Google Sheets. It is a product within the Google Drive suite. It's a free product for anyone who has a Google Gmail account. Most people have a Google Gmail account, so I won't go into detail as to how to get one of those, but I will show you what it would look like if you have never used Google Drive before, nor Google Sheets. So let me just open up this one. Which one is it? Okay. Go to Google and Google Drive. It should be the first result that comes up. If you click on it, it will show you a landing page advertising Google Drive and why you should use it. Just click on the button, go to Google Drive, and it'll prompt you to log in with your Gmail account. And if you don't have a Gmail account, you can create one. So that's how you get started with it. If you already have a Google account and you're not sure how to create, or a Google Drive account, you're not sure how to create a spreadsheet, you're in your Google Drive. You can see I'm this far down into my file pathways, but if you're just in your main homepage of your Google Drive, it will look the same. You go File or you go New and you click Google Sheets. I already have a spreadsheet set up, so I'm gonna work with this one. You're gonna want to get all of your data all in one place. So you either log onto your bank account and you figure out a way to download a CSV file or some kind of spreadsheet from your business bank account, or you can copy and paste the items in. But think about where all the records of your spending are. Are they on your online bank? Do you shop online with your groceries? Do you shop on Amazon? Do you have spending on those sites which would constitute groceries that you could use to put into the spreadsheet? Sit down, have a think, and get all of the information in one place. Now this can take some time, and a lot of people would think, okay, this is just too tedious for me. Fair play to you. If you're not interested in doing this, by all means skip over or stop watching this video altogether. But if you want to know how to do this, this is how I do it. It is by no means the most fast and efficient way, but it is a way that makes me feel organized, and I can do the necessary analysis by doing these copy and pasting steps. So get all of your data into this spreadsheet. You want to make sure that it's lined up in the appropriate columns. So I organize it this way. I do the vendor on the very first column, A, and that's where I bought the groceries, whether that's a Superstore, a Tesco, a Waitrose, a Sotheby's. I'm trying to think of grocery stores in North America, and I haven't lived there for so long that I can't remember any of them. Date, items, No Frills, that's a Canadian one for sure. Put the item in here, the cost, and then at the very end, I put category at the top. And this is when you're gonna go through and you're gonna look at all of your items and you're gonna categorize them. Now, You can spend a lot of time, energy, and frustration on this part, or you could use the ones that I include in this video. I'll create a list and put them at the bottom of the video so you can just copy and paste if they suit you. In order to use this the most efficiently, what I always like to do, and I will turn this feature off to turn it back on to show you how to do it. Turn off filter. So highlight the top row of your spreadsheet. Click over on the one, make sure everything's highlighted. And then you're gonna go data, and you're gonna go create a filter. That will create drop-down options for each of your columns. This is great because this enables you to refine and sort and see all the categories rather than having to scroll through the entire sheet. You can see them all in one place. So if you click the drop-down, it will show you them all here. So you can see all of my categories here. Another sort of tip to stay organized, I like to have a tab at the bottom for each month. And I've actually gone ahead and done some of these things, so I'm going to delete these before we go too far. Yes, delete that. Just so I can show you from start to finish what it's like. Yep, delete. Great, thanks. So I make sure I have all of my grocery receipts for August and August, September and September, and even though October is not quite up yet, I've started to enter the items in there. You just hit this press button at the bottom that says Add Sheet, and then double click and then write the month and the year. And that's a great way to stay organized. I'm just gonna order these in order of time. So August, September, November, September, October, November, December. Okay, so back to August. You got all of your data lined up in neat rows. You go through, you categorize all the things according to what category they are. Now we're gonna do the analysis. Click anywhere in the spreadsheet, and then go up to data, and then go pivot table. This is gonna organize and create a nice little pivot table for you that you can drag and drop data into. Rows will go here, columns will go here, and the values will go in the center. I always like to do the values first, so we'll go over to the pivot table editor, and we'll click values. It'll give you a drop-down option of what you wanna have as the value. Because we're looking at analyzing how much money we spent, I'm gonna go cost, and there you go. That is the total amount of money I spent on food for the month of August. I'm gonna go through and just quickly rename this table at the bottom, pivot table August 2018, just so I stay organized because I'm gonna do 2 in this video and it just helps to keep things clean. So I spent 611 pounds on groceries for the month of August. If you remember at the beginning of this video, I said my new budget for groceries is 536 pounds, which is basically like 125 pounds a week or 18 pounds a day for 2 people. This is slightly off, but if you look at all the categories I have in the spreadsheet, you'll see there are some here like household goods and cosmetics. These things actually fall within another area of my big overall budget that has things like utilities, rent, transportation, all those other things. So I'm gonna exclude them from this spreadsheet. So to do that, you go to this filter section in the pivot table editor, click add, and then you want to go category. So right now the default is it's showing all items. You wanna click the drop down, and I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna remove cosmetics. I'm also gonna remove household goods, and I think that's it. Okay, and then click OK. Okay, so here's our new updated budget. We spent 593 pounds and a bit of change on groceries for the month of August. That is not bad, but I'm gonna fill out the rows just to show you where I spent the money and just so I can see what the big picture is. So if you go to the pivot table editor again and you click add under the row column, we're gonna select category because we want the rows along the side to be the category because that's what we're analyzing. So you can see it populates that column in alphabetical order. I wanna see all of the data from the biggest, highest spending category to the lowest. So I'm gonna go over to the pivot table editor again, and I'm gonna sort by, instead of category, I'm gonna sort by sum of cost. And instead of ascending, I want to see descending because I want to see the biggest category spending on the top. So there we go. We spent 178 pounds on fruit and veg, followed by 88 pounds on nut butters, seeds, and dried fruit. This kind of makes sense to me because for the month of August, we came back from holiday where we just kind of binged and ate tons of seafood and meat and stuff. And I remember feeling like I wanted to do like the vegan diet. So we spent a lot of time and a lot of money on vegan meals, and that is reflected in what we spent that month. You can see here. Another quick little tip how you can do basic arithmetic in Excel. Any formula starts with an equal sign. So you just put equal sign. I want to know how much I was over budget as a percent. So this is really messy. This is not best practice, like how to keep everything neat and tidy, but I'm just going to do it to the side because I just want to know quickly what the number is. So you hit enter, then you select how much you spent, and you subtract it from the amount that you wanted to spend, obviously, to see the difference. So we spent 57, almost 56, 58 pounds over budget. As a percentage of our total budget, I'm going to do another calculation here. Hit enter, and you select the difference between the target budget and what we actually spent. Do a slash as a divide sign, and you divide it by the amount that you wanted to spend. And there you go. You have a decimal point to show you a percentage. And if you want to format that cell to show up as a percentage instead of a decimal point, you go format number and you select percent. So we were almost 11% over budget. Not great, but by no means as bad as I've been in the past where I spent like 40% over my budget. So I'm pretty pleased with that. And because I don't want this video to be 2 hours long, I'm going to just quickly do it again for the month of September. So again, you click anywhere in the spreadsheet in the table that you want to do the pivot table analysis on. You go data, pivot table. It's going to create this nice little template that you add the information in. I always add the values first, so you click values add, and I'm going to do cost because that's what we're trying to analyze. 459 pounds. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen a cheaper month in my life. Now I'm going to add the rows next, and I'm going to add the categories. And again, the default is it's going to sort by category, and it's going to sort ascending. I want to sort by sum of cost, and I want to do descending. My personal preference. Don't do it if you don't feel like it's important for you. And then I just want to exclude the cosmetics, the household goods, and things that are not relative to our grocery analysis. So I'm going to remove cosmetics here, and gifts also, because I have a separate budget for that as well, and household goods. Okay, let's see. Okay, 362 pounds. Wow, that is cheap. I don't even know how. Oh yeah, we went away for a week because we were having our bathroom done, and we spent a fortune that month on eating out at restaurants. So that's why our groceries were so cheap. But you can see we spent the most again on fruit and veg, 90 quid, 53 pounds on meat and poultry. So we started eating meat again that month. So that's how you just do a basic analysis and to see how much you spent. There's other cool tricks that you can do, and I'll just show you real quick. You can filter, I think it's here, no, values. It's set as default, but you can do a percentage of grand total. So if you want to see what category had the biggest percentage, I mean, you can see right now that it's fruit and veg, but you can see what percentage of your budget goes towards something. So say if you have a target of like, okay, this month I want my alcohol to only be 1% of my overall expenditure, then you can look and see how much alcohol was this month for us as a percentage of the overall expenditure. So that is a great way of just analyzing what you're spending. It's a bit laborious putting all the information in, but once you get it in, it's quite quick to just do the analysis. And I find it a really easy way of staying on top of how I'm spending my money in terms of groceries. So that's how I analyze my food expenditures. Let me know if this video was helpful for you. I always like to do these things for myself, my own like peace of mind, and I think it's worthwhile sharing them. If you like this video, consider subscribing to get notified of whenever I post a new one, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. Let's get my giant head out of here.